Let's talk homeschooling. In Canada, majority of the kids attend their local school, whether that's in their neighborhood or their town. And the cost to attend is fairly affordable, if not free. Now, when we travel to Thailand, attending an international school is an option for the children. However, an average cost of attending an international school in Thailand can range from the low range of $14,000 to the high range of $35,000 Canadian per year per child. So I don't know about you, but that is just not affordable for us. I have 3 kids and that adds up very quickly and definitely not in our budget. So we have looked at homeschooling options and so far we've narrowed it down to 2. Let's go inside and I'll show you what I found. Okay, now that we're out of that crazy win, let's get back down to business. Here's my folder where I put the 2 homeschooling options. So speaking to the current school principal, he emailed me a couple of options. If I'm being completely honest, we are very nervous about the homeschooling aspect. I had preferred that my kids stay in the current curriculum. That way when they come back, they can go right back into school and stay on the same curriculum and they're not continuously switching over models. So this one is the one that's not a part of our curriculum. So this one is the learning model options for kindergarten to grade 9 online learning. Model highlights. What are the benefits of this model? Great for students who thrive on structure, want to interact daily and frequently with their teacher and peers, and they can work at their own pace. So this one would be okay if my kids were slightly older. However, we're going to be on the other side of the world. I believe they're 13 hours ahead of us there. So when it's daytime here, it's nighttime there. So I'm not super sure that being in contact with the teacher or being on face-to-face with the teacher online is really going to work for us. However, I did print it out just so we can go over the pros and cons. The second option is staying in our school's curriculum. So it stays within our current division. So basically, you complete and send in a homeschool student registration form, submit a written education plan, and provide an end of the school year progress report. And then it says here, if a student wishes to return to the public school system after being homeschooled, parents are required to provide the school with a copy of the student's summative record for each school year or part of a school year that the student was a home-based learner. And right there, that already makes this one seem a little bit more interesting and more compatible with what we are doing, because the kids will be in school from September, October, possibly a little bit of November, and then they will return to school when we return, so probably late April, May, and June. So they'll be there for 6 months out of the 6 months. So that sentence makes me already feel a little bit more confident in this option. So there is a person that I can contact regarding more information, so I will be in contact with her and kind of explaining what our plan is and seeing which one she would probably recommend. I do think she'll probably recommend this one. And as long as the work gets done, I don't see there being a need to have a face-to-face interaction with the teacher every day or whatever that may look like. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, I really enjoy the education that my children are getting in the schools, and that's why I don't want to take them out completely and for the rest of the year. I do want them to interact, and even just for the social aspect of it. However, when we're traveling, obviously that is something that needs to change. Now, I know a big question people probably have is, what about the structure? What about the socialization? Now, I'll be completely transparent. This is obviously something that we're still trying to figure out, but we are committed to making sure our kids are supported in every way possible to make sure that their schedule aligns with our plans and benefit their education to the fullest. Now, socialization is something that I'm not completely sure about, and I'm just going to be quite honest about that. My brother-in-law has spent the last 3 years in Thailand and surrounding areas, and he says that he has ran into many people that he has met the first year that he ever went there, and they remember who he is, and so he has made lifelong friends, even with minimal effort. However, I'm not exactly sure how that'll work out for kids. I suspect we'll figure that out when we get there and really get to know the areas and start meeting people and other expats. And I assume eventually we're going to run into a community that we absolutely love, and we will get to know the people in that community. Just like if you were to move anywhere in the world, you do eventually gain relationships and friendships, and that all comes organically. So that one is strictly going to be a learning process for us all. Now, this isn't just about traveling. This isn't just a long-term vacation. I genuinely want my children to experience the world and what it has to offer. I think that in itself is an education. I know school's important. Reading, writing, math, those are the basics. They matter. They give you the tools to understand the world. But is that all they need? I personally don't think so. Education to me doesn't just live in books and papers. It's the way people speak, the food they eat, and the problems they solve in their own world every day. Funny enough, I read once, school teaches you how to think, and the world teaches you how to live. And I think that's probably my favorite thing that I've read in quite a while. But there's something about seeing, feeling, and experiencing a different way of life, a different culture, and really appreciating what we have here and what they have there. And the whole point of this channel is to document how this stuff really works. I'm learning for the first time too, and I want to document it and bring it to you in case you ever decide to do this with your kids, and I can make it just slightly easier for you. Also, if you're a current expat who has traveled abroad or is traveling abroad and you come across this video and you would like to share some advice, please leave me a comment. So that's just a little bit about our plan to homeschool while we are living abroad in Thailand. We are figuring it out as we go, and of course I'm going to take you along for the journey and document it all so that maybe you don't make the same mistakes we will, or maybe we'll get it perfect the first time and we can share that easy transition with you. So stay tuned, be a part of our journey, and I'll see you in the next video.